Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much to our organist for a wonderful introduction to our ceremony today. It's with really great pleasure and a feeling of privilege that I welcome you all here on this very special occasion. It's an honour to have you as graduands, your families and friends here with us today, and to be able to acknowledge and celebrate all you have achieved. It's a particularly exciting occasion for me, as our graduation ceremonies today mark my first occasion chairing this very special event as one of the senior academic trustees on the board, having taken up the role only in spring last year. I've been very much looking forward to this day, and I'm thrilled to be here with you all as you graduate from the institution. This is what we are all about as a university. And seeing you walk across this platform to rapturous applause, by the way, friends and family, to see you walk across this platform having achieved your academic ambitions makes me incredibly proud. From my perspective, graduation marks the most important event in the university calendar. And I feel incredibly honored to be undertaking my role today, a day when we recognise and applaud the achievements of our graduates and share with them in their success. First and foremost, we're here to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of our graduates. It's wonderful to see so many of you here today, and I'd like to start the first round of applause with congratulations to you all. Welcome also to the partners, parents, children, friends, and employers who've come together today to celebrate with our graduates. Significant achievements are rarely made by individuals alone, but by people working together, and we acknowledge and thank you all for your support. I can only imagine how renewed you all were when the results came through. And I'd like to just step away from my script for a moment and ask all our graduates here today would take a minute just to thank their family and friends who are here in the usual way. So, I'm also delighted to welcome members of our Board of Trustees and most importantly our guest speaker, Liz Peace, CBE, who was formerly the CEO at the British Property Federation but now pursues an advisory career at the Building and she will give her address later. Before we get to the awards themselves, I would now like to invite the Vice Chancellor to address.
Thank you, Liz, and good morning, everybody. Please, first of all, can I add my own very, very warm welcome to everybody here today. We really are absolutely delighted to have you with us. I sincerely hope that those of you on this side probably already know this, but just in case you don't, you understand just how incredible group of people you are. It's only through your hard work and your determination you have achieved something remarkable. Today, along with your family and friends, to celebrate, to enjoy, and also to reflect. All of you to your families and your friends, who will undoubtedly have played their own part in supporting you along the way, my heartiest congratulations to all of you. Our built environment is ubiquitous. It constantly defines and shapes all of us throughout our daily lives. It provides our homes and our places in which we work. It provides our education in our schools, as well as our medical and care needs in hospitals. It provides the energy we need and the transportation that we depend upon. And, done correctly, It helps to build healthy, thriving communities. And ultimately, therefore, it can significantly impact on everybody's quality of life. Domestically, the built environment as a whole is by far and away the largest single industrial sector. Arguably, it's a super sector, with an estimated 24% of our country's GVA at £568 billion coming from the sector alone. It employs 12% of the workforce, approximately 3.8 million people. That's over twice the size of the financial services sector and 4 times the size of the creative industries. And as that industry, we have a huge responsibility to create and manage buildings which are not only fit for purpose, but which are the highest quality, which are safe, and of course, which are sustainable. And as many of you will be aware, the challenges that we face as an industry are now greater than ever. Fast growing populations, rapid urbanization, climate change, leading to the need for more resilient buildings and a significant and urgent reduction in energy use. The rapid emergence of artificial intelligence, smart cities and connected buildings, coupled with the general pace of technological change, off-site and on-site manufacturing and advanced building techniques, as well as infrastructure and transport solutions on a scale never seen before. The list is extensive, and of course, it will continue to grow well into the future. These solutions require the application of your newly acquired skills and specialist knowledge. And added to that, I would ask that you consider the extent of your professional responsibility and to find ways to be the guardians of our substantial, our precious, and our highly intricate built environment. Whether it relates to newly constructed buildings or future builds, those buildings which are being restored, preserved, or regenerated, or those which are being maintained, refurbished, or updated, or simply those that are in need. The pressure on the built environment industry to respond to these challenges is immense. We need solutions that are creative, that are innovative, and which will serve future generations. We need you to be the professionals who understand the need for a long-term, human-centric approach to the built environment, who are sensitive to and appreciative of the natural environment within which our buildings sit, and who add to it rather than diminishing it. And we need you to be the people, most importantly, who are unerring in upholding the highest professional standards of quality. The built environment and the environment as a whole needs you now more than ever. However, I, for one, feel confident, assured, and more relaxed, knowing that our University of the Built Environment graduates will be the centre of exceptional solutions into the future. So my message to you today is a simple one. Look forward and carefully consider the future and the positive impact which your newly gained skills and qualifications can have on a more sustainable built environment. And of vital importance, I would really urge you to see it through the eyes of the people who will live and who will work and play within it. My own belief is that this institution's role is now more important than ever. From our humble beginnings in 1919, following the College of Estate Management Foundation by Sir William Wells to meet the post-war building and construction, this remarkable institution has grown to become the higher education to the built environment. Some 4,000 students studying in 50 countries around the world. As ever, we were responsive and agile in meeting the needs of industry. And we are significantly increasing our focus on environmental and sustainability programs, ensuring that we are leaders in addressing the climate emergency and positioning ourselves firmly as the world's most sustainable university. Our Royal Charter has our role very clear. Our mission emphasised the six tenets of our core purpose: to provide education which is truly accessible, which is cost effective, and which enhances careers. And through it, we'll increase professionalism and create a more sustainable built environment. Last year, as many of you know, some 106 years after our initial foundation, we evolved into the University of the Built Environment, now perfectly poised to provide the sector with the many thousands of highly skilled professionals it so desperately needs. Ultimately, we are here to serve that industry, and we will continue to ensure that our impact and the influence of our work is both relevant and substantive. Our job, and in fact my job, is straightforward: to fully support our students' education ambitions, wherever they are and at whatever level, whether they wish to go slow or fast, regardless of age, start point, or background, without any unnecessary barriers. We want to make sure we are equipping each and every one of our students with the skills necessary to ensure that the built environment of tomorrow is an exceptional and a sustainable one. And as University of the Built Environment, we're building on the outstanding legacy of the University College of Estate Management and its wonderful and talented alumni by serving our industry with real clarity and real focus. And that's what makes us different. I think it makes us special. I firmly believe it makes us better. Please be our institution's greatest ambassadors for the work that we do as you join the 150,000 plus alumni from this great university. Before I finish, I'd like to take a moment to thank our trustees, both past and present, who give all of their time voluntarily. I'd like to thank them for their continued support and oversight of this institution. And in particular, I'd like to extend my thanks to Dr. Liz Marr, one of our senior academic trustees, for guiding us through today's proceedings. We are both privileged and grateful to benefit from your collective wisdom as a board, your leadership and your support. Thank you. But none of what we do would be possible without the incredible people who work at our university. And it's so important to me that today we take a moment to recognise the exceptional work done by the people behind me, and of course many who are not here today. It's their dedication and commitment which is so essential in providing such high quality programmes and every year. So please, can you join me in thanking them? In closing, as we think about the importance of developing a more sustainable built environment, I'd like to leave you with a quote. It's one from British environmentalist and explorer Robert Swan. As we think about a climate crisis, he told us this: the greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. So as you reflect on your achievements, please consider the positive and the necessary impact that you can have on the built and natural environment. Celebrate with your families and friends who've supported you. Thank them for their valued support and sacrifices, which I'm sure were integral to your success. And most importantly, make them even more proud as you develop your careers and as you help to make a more sustainable built environment. Thank you very much.
I would now like to invite Jane Thorpe, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, to call forward the graduates to receive their awards. As we begin our awards today, please feel free to join us in congratulating all of our graduates by clapping and cheering their success. I first call upon the Vice-Chancellor to present the Certificate of Higher Education, Construction and Built Environment Award. The following graduate is being awarded: Nadia Gomos. Vice-Chancellor, next we present the Bachelor of Science Building Control Award. The following graduates have been awarded: Naima Hussain, Kirsty Lee Robinson, Vice-Chancellor, we now turn to the Bachelor of Science Building Surveying Awards. The following graduates have been awarded: Robert Taylor Brown, Yu Chan, Vice-Chancellor, next we present the Bachelor of Science Construction Management Award. The following graduates have been awarded: Lauren Grace Hart, Bailey Jordan Peplow, Bertie Thomas Daniel Voller, Daniel Ward, Jada Dillis White, Dylan Wood, Vice-Chancellor, we now turn to those graduates who have been awarded the Bachelor of Science Quantity Surveying. The following graduates have been awarded: Jamie Ahmed, Jack Ainley. Stephen James Barker. Emanuela Graham. Tapua Gudo. Jacob Thomas Hunter. Mohammed Irfan Hussain. Armin Iqbal. Callum Andrew Middleton. Riley Anthony Nolan Edgson. Abby Sarah Ann O'Connell. Lorraine Peters. Cameron Rennie. Yuvnish Sadeo. Callum Shermer Hull. Callum Simpson. Jagdeep Singh. Ewan Sloan. Vice Chancellor, next we present the Bachelor of Science Real Estate Management Award. The following graduates have been awarded. Darren Lawson. Narmeet Kaur Tamba. Vice Chancellor, we turn to the graduates who've been awarded Postgraduate Certificate Building and Property Studies Award. The following graduate has been awarded. Kimberly Locate Lamontard.
Vice-Chancellor, now we present the Postgraduate Diploma Building Surveying Award. The following graduates have been awarded.
Mark Elijah Kenton James.
Vice-Chancellor, I present the graduate who has been awarded Master of Business Administration, Construction and Real Estate.
The following graduate has been awarded. Shui Shan Si.
Vice-Chancellor, I present those graduates who have been awarded Master of Science Building Surveying.
The following graduates have been awarded. Harjan Buller. Kimberly Burgess. Benjamin Stevens.
Vice-Chancellor, we now turn to those graduates who have been awarded Master of Science Construction Management.
The following graduates have been awarded. Rafiat Edibukola Adeyemi.
Alexandra Edmonds.
Adikani John Ifataruti. Presley Antonio Rebello. Fadilat Fabiola Umar. Henry Way. Vice-Chancellor, next I present the graduate who has been awarded Master of Science Innovation in Sustainable Built Environment. Ayodeji Adewole Akinuole.
Vice-Chancellor, next we turn to the Master of Science Quantity Surveying Awards.
The following graduates have been awarded. David Anel Azaronye.
Belinda Cambrick.
Harry Bartlett.
Raja Hamza Goa. Mohammed Anamul Haq. Mohammed Ramzan Javed. Colette Elsa Klikita. Samantha King. Isagani Oliveros. Ayomide Olawolaoni. Michael Frank Barry Upson. Edison Valoria. Fatima Zara. Finally, Vice-Chancellor, we turn to the graduates who have been awarded Master of Science Real Estate. The following graduates have been awarded: Fatima Banafshe Abizi, Amina Maria Boshenka, Keanu A. Biones, Nathan Max Keir Boyle, Annabelle Elizabeth Cox, Thomas William Duran, Tamara Elise Marcella Elliott, Harry James Elrington, Michael James Hargett, Daniel Kale, Lakeisha Awuso Kodara, Rajwinder Singh Raj Mandir. Adebola Onanuga. William John Parker. Freya Catherine Ratcliffe. Katie Victoria Roberts. Jemima Grace Webb. We warmly congratulate all those who are graduating and absentee today. Vice-Chancellor, there are some that have not been able to make it here for the start of the ceremony. Graduating is such an important and exciting achievement that we would like to ensure all have the chance to do so. Therefore, can I now call to the stage Harrison William Dodds for the Bachelor of Science Quantity Surveying. Vice-Chancellor, this concludes the awards today. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor and Deputy Vice-Chancellor, and well done again to all graduates. You'll get much more applause later on. But before we do that, I would like now to invite Liz Peace, CBE, to address our graduates. Liz has had a unique career spanning both public and private sectors. She began her career in the Ministry of Defence, where she played a pivotal role in the creation of Kinetic in 2001. She then became the Chief Executive of the British Property Federation, contributing to the establishment of the UK's real estate investment trust structure, and was awarded a CBE in 2008 in recognition of her services to the property industry. Since leaving the BPF in 2014, Liz has built up a non-executive portfolio career focused on the built environment. She currently holds a number of non-executive roles, and she's chair of the University of Cambridge Property Board and of the Nuclear Waste Services Limited, and she's the senior independent governor at the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. She also chairs the Churches Conservation Trust and was a founder member and subsequent chair of Real Estate Balance. I don't know when she went to sleep, but that chair of Real Estate Balance, a campaigning organisation dedicated to improving diversity and inclusion in the real estate industry. I'm sure you will join me in recognising the contribution that the University of the Built Environment is making to the diversity in that industry. Liz was made a University of the Built Environment Honorary Fellow in 2008, and we look forward to her insights and advice for our students, for our graduates, as they set out to further their career in the built environment. Thank you, Liz.
Well, good morning, everybody. It is such an honour to be here. I'm deeply flattered that Ashley and his team invited me to address you all. I've known the College of Estate Management, as it used to be, now the University of the Built Environment, for many years. I was equally thrilled back in 2008 to have been offered an honorary fellowship. I think your university status was a great achievement. And I also very much welcome the change of name to the built environment rather than estate management, because as you're going to hear from what I'm going to be saying today, I do think that phrase very much reflects how we should look at the world around us, the physical world around us. I'm going to talk about the property industry and very much its place in society, but in particular, your role. I'm talking to our graduates sitting down here on the left. But first of all, I've got a bit of a confession to make. I'm not a real estate professional at all. I have to explain that to my Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors colleagues. I'm actually a historian by academic background. I then, as you've just heard, spent time working at the Ministry of Defence, 27 years. But my first senior role there was in a department that was then called Defence Estates. And that's actually where I discovered how much I really liked land, buildings, and how they fit together to make a place. I had to do quite a few, perhaps slightly unpalatable things, slightly challenging. I had to persuade the National Trust to lease us land for a nuclear-proof bunker at High Wycombe. They weren't very happy about that. I happened to threaten compulsory purchase on a group of landowners around Faz Lane in Scotland so that we could expand the base to take the Trident submarines. I then also did some slightly more prosaic things around looking after married quarters and the homes that some of our people actually had to live in. But what that showed me was how land and buildings were the basis for pretty much everything we do in human society. Now, how I ended up in the property industry is a very long story, but when I was thinking of applying to lead the British Property Federation, this was about 24 years ago, I happened to visit somewhere called Brindley Place in Birmingham. I'm actually a born and bred Brummie, and I remember Brindley Place when it was something called Gas Street Basin, and what an awful place it was. When I saw Brindley Place and what the property industry and the people who work in it done to transform and regenerate that area from rubbish tips and scrapyards to places of warmth, light, activity, there for enjoyment and usability. So when I became chief executive of the British Property Federation, actually, that made my job as a spokesperson for and champion of the property industry really quite an easy one for me personally. I didn't have to try hard to be passionate about what our industry can offer. Now, I think it's worth reflecting for a moment what that offer is. There's all the dry stuff about land and property being a factor of production. After all, it's difficult to run most businesses without the facilities in which to do it. And consequently, a healthy supply of good quality places and buildings is necessary for our GDP, GVA growth. Property is also a significant asset class for investment, and probably most of the, dare I say it, slightly older people in this room own, as well as the house in which they live, a little piece of commercial property as part of their pension fund, even if they don't actually know it. But when you think about it, and we've heard something from Ashley today about this, buildings and places and the places they occupy bring so much more. They are the places where we live, work, and play. The nature of those places shapes the nature of what people do within them and how they behave to each other. And for people who don't have their own little patch of property to call their own, this creates a burning sense of injustice. Of course, not everyone actually understands the real role of the property industry in our society. I did struggle for my 13 years in the British Property Federation to get the man in the street to appreciate that the property industry is a bit more than a group of fat cats, Rolex wearing, opportunist speculators, buy cheap, sell dear. That's what the average man thinks of the property industry. And the politicians, they also have trouble getting their mind around the property industry. They think it's just about the homes we live in, only the houses and apartments provided by the body of house builders. And we all know it is so much more. And we're not always helped by the behaviour of some of those in the industry. There are, dare I say it, the house builders who try and use every trick in the book to avoid providing affordable housing, the developers who ignore the need to create truly sustainable, livable, and usable places, and who fail to recognise the importance of good design, and who go through the motions of consulting and engaging with communities, whose lives they are about to massively change and probably disrupt. And the investors who buy into and take over a company simply with a view to asset stripping, maximising profit, without thinking about those who are currently using that property for their work, their home, maybe their place of recovery. I'm saddened by the lack of trust that plagues the relationship between business generally and ordinary people in our country. And I think it's even worse for the property industry. I'm saddened, having spent 13 years trying to build that trust, by just how our industry seems to be taking more than its fair share of the current antipathy, and in some cases, acting in a way that deserves it. So perhaps some of this problem is that the real estate world has not moved quite fast enough to keep up with changing attitudes. Despite the breathtaking modernity of some of the buildings we produce, we are in many ways a very traditional industry. Indeed, you only have to look at some of the language we use in our leases and in our development agreements. And I would suggest that that traditional approach, some might say even old-fashioned, often gets in the way of how we should be trying to show society just what we were capable of. I've always thought actually remembering tenants are actually customers and start calling them that might be quite a good move when we're drawing up a lease. As an industry, we need to embrace change and modernisation. Firstly, we need to think broadly about people and places, not just the bricks and the mortar or the concrete and the steel that's going to be put in there. Okay, regeneration is a much overused word. Of course, one person's regeneration can be another person's vandalism. But in whatever work you are doing, you should be asking yourself, are we actually making a place for the lives of the people in it better? I think we need to focus on quality of service. And here I'm going to call on something that people of my generation knew very well, called the legendary Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance. That suggests that performing in a manner acceptable to all stakeholders can be boiled down to a business model based on a word that I really like. And that word is care. That care can take many different forms. Helping a client understand that perhaps they don't need quite so much space as they thought, even if it means ending up with a lower fee. Persuading a developer that the extra story or two that they want will massively alienate the local community. Perhaps persuading a client they need to spend a bit more on property management, the property service that's being provided to their occupiers. Thirdly, Ashley also mentioned this, we need to think deeply about sustainability of buildings, what we're producing. And sustainability is not, in my view, just a wokish fad, nor is it just about energy efficiency, even though that's important. It's about future adaptability and reuse, about the impact on a community and environment, about the resource consumption, about waste reduction. Fourthly, we need to accept the need to change and embrace technology and look at how we can harness it, not just for its own sake, but to make the buildings and places we create better and smarter. Now, there's a lot of scaremongering about these new technologies, especially AI. Interestingly, a recent Real Estate Balance Next Gen survey found that 69% of all respondents, and these are people under 35, actually felt fairly or very well prepared to use AI tools, which I actually found hugely encouraging. The next gen group is very much whom we are celebrating today. So us oldies, I'm dressing up the people in the room, should take reassurance from the fact, from that finding, which suggests that our younger folk are already living by this old Chinese proverb I found. When the winds of change blow, some people build walls, others build windmills. You, I hope, are building windmills. And lastly, we do need to focus more on the diversity of the people within our industry and the way we attract a wider cohort of people from differing backgrounds into it. Now, I'm personally passionate about the issue of gender diversity. Doesn't mean I don't think about the rest of the aspects of diversity, but you've got to start somewhere. The University of the Built Environment, I've checked it out, has a 64-36% gender split amongst its students, which isn't bad, but I know Ashley and his team will accept that they could probably do better. I was impressed with the lineup of our top table today. 3 women, poor Ashley, in splendid isolation. there. And there's a substantial number of students, as we've seen, from an ethnically diverse background, but there's always room for improvement. Why is this important? Well, as I've said, our industry is absolutely integral to and serves almost every aspect of society. So it stands to reason that if we're going to do that well, we need to have a spread of people that actually reflect the makeup of that society. At a very personal level, I've always maintained that many shopping centres seem to have been designed by men who have no idea how women wish to use them. And they can't even get, women can't even get into a car park, but that's probably a personal failing of mine. So I think it's really important that we reach out to people from a broader range of backgrounds and different levels of academic attainment and get them to join our industry. It's not just about people who come from a family of surveyors or architects or happen to want to do a university degree. There are lots of different ways of getting into our industry. Failure to tap into that wider pool poses an existential threat, both to us and to wider society. If we're not training up the new and next generation, we won't have the people and the skills available to create and maintain the built environment of the future. And the only way we're going to do this is by reaching into that larger pool of potential recruits from every sector of society. I would actually at this point just like to call out the students from the University of the Built Environment's huge range of apprenticeship programs. I was massively impressed when I was looking this up on the web. It offers so many different ways and levels of accessing a built environment qualification. And there are a lot more than when I last spoke at this event back in 2018. I was told 48% of this year's graduates in one form or another were involved in an apprentice program. I think that's a terrific achievement. So to summarise, I believe that our often misunderstood industry needs to work even harder to embrace change and to earn the trust of society. I'm confident, however, that you, the new generation of property people, are going to be able to rise to that challenge. And I know that the University of the Built Environment training and education that you have undergone to get here today will have ensured that you look beyond things like the yield curve or the internal rate of return to get to the wider contribution that you can make to the places we inhabit. But look, today is first and foremost a celebration of your achievements, and I'd like to congratulate you all personally for what you've done. But I would also like you all to make an inward personal commitment to promise that whatever you do in the future, whatever branch of our industry you end up in, you will always think at the beginning of any project or task you take on, what impact is this going to have on society? Will it improve the lot of people who use it? And if not, what are you going to do about it? That way, we will ensure that our fantastic industry, which I believe can really change lives, gets the recognition it deserves. Thank you all very much for listening.
Thank you very much. Really good messages there, and I concur with everything you have said. My background is in higher education and distance learning. I know less about the built environment than all of you, but I do, as an end user, appreciate what it is that you're all going to try and do in future, is to create a truly inclusive, accessible environment, society, world for our societies to develop in. I'd like to finish by adding my own personal congratulations to all of you on your magnificent achievements. And as I said earlier, this is without question one of the most satisfying and rewarding days for me as a trustee on the board, for my fellow trustees, and indeed for all of the staff of the university. I'm going to ask my colleagues on the platform to applaud all of you graduates. Thank you. Your studies at our institution are a part of your learning, and learning is a lifetime activity. Education is the richest investment that people can make in themselves. Doesn't have to stop here. You can carry on. Friends and family, don't mind saying that. You've you are in a position to address some of the most critical issues facing all of us, including energy, global climate change, and sustainability. More than this, and I'm particularly inspired by Dame Helena Kennedy's view of education. Almost 30 years ago, she said, education strengthens the ties which bind people, takes the fear out of difference, and encourages tolerance. These are equally critical today, and you should feel proud that from today you're part of the solution for all of these concerns. You will always remain part of the University of the Built Environment family, and today you join our extensive alumni network. The whole university congratulates and celebrates with you. We are so proud of what you've achieved. So, please will you join us for drinks outside, and I truly hope you enjoy the rest of your day with family and friends. Thank you.